I thought I'll just recap a little bit from last night's Zoom meeting, just because I'd like in the next meeting to really explore some of these thoughts and issues, and maybe we could do it together, maybe like a discussion, hopefully. Sorry about those in Africa that struggled to connect. This was the first one of many, hopefully, and so so I'm hopeful that it's going to improve, and your connection will improve as well. Last night I kind of mentioned a number of things. The first one is that that God showed Amanda and I back in late 2018 and early 2019 that 2020 was going to be a very significant, critical year for the church. And the Lord told us that He was going to shake awake the church. And of course, we didn't know that coronavirus was coming and all the shutdowns and the implications of that for the church, especially the third world church suffered significantly because of lack of communication and so on. And to some degree, the church was caught by surprise. We didn't anticipate that, and so many people did not use, platforms and social media and stuff like that to the extent that they do now. So everybody had to jump fast to try and get communications going to their congregation. But I think it was that shaking that, alerting us as the church that maybe what we're doing or only what we're doing isn't going to cut it as we go on and possible trouble develops and this corona thing doesn't stop for a while and maybe it gets worse. That we need to really sit down and think about how we do church. And, we have this attractional model of church, which has worked fine. And basically, it's a model where we have created an attraction. We have a facility, a church. We offer programs at this facility, events, many other things, counseling, opportunities, all that kind of thing. And that sort of attracts people to us. Of course, there are people that are out there, individuals and even churches that are reaching communities and active. But generally speaking, we rely on the attractional model. And so I think the shaking and awakening is for the church to begin to look at different ways that maybe we should be doing church and maybe mobilizing every individual. And what I mean by that is not necessarily sending them out door to door, knocking on the door, handing out tracts kind of thing, but literally coming alive to their lives. I think to a large degree, we live out our Christianity despite our lives. And when we do that, we're using our Christianity to kind of survive rather than thrive. and so maybe we have to have almost not just a paradigm shift, but a revelatory shift and begin to see that all things work to the good for those that love the Lord, and no weapon formed against us will prosper. And that God is, when we gave our hearts to the Lord, God's changed everything, not just inside, but everything outside. For example, our trouble no longer is trouble. It works for our good. And we have to see it that way. And we have to realize that every moment of the day is ordered by the Lord. And every moment of the day is an opportunity of some sort. So when you're walking down the street and somebody smiles at you or you smile back at them, it's not just something that happens. It's an opportunity to smile, with the Lord inside of you and pray for that person or whatever the case may be. And so I think that has to begin to happen so that we haven't cloistered our Christianity in an event only and a facility only. That our Christianity now has become relevant in every aspect of our lives. And so I think it was 2019, we started an initiative called 1 in 10. And basically at that point, there was 7.8 billion people in the world, and there was roughly just under 700 million born-again Christians, evangelicals, spiritual people in the earth. And so it was roughly 1 in 10 is a born-again, spirit-filled, actively used by the Lord Christian. And that's not bad, 1 in 10. I think we can handle that. We can influence at least 10 people, each individual. And so the Lord said, to us that the future of the church is in the one. And of course we're going to gather, and of course we're going to mentor and teach and what have you, but we have to begin to break out of those walls and in a whole entirely new way. Not just, see, people say, well, I'm busy. I can't go knock on doors. I can't go on that outreach. I've got a client come flying in from somewhere. Well, if every moment of our day and every opportunity and every meeting we have is ordered by the Lord, then we're called to our lives, and we need to embrace that calling.